Normal walk on the trail, and they went to go pick them up. A couple hours later, they never showed up.
I think the part that really struck a nerve is when we're told that this is part of a criminal investigation. A crime has been committed.
I couldn't go outside of the house without having a panic attack.
As early as February 15th, the police found a Snapchat picture taken by Libby on the trail. In the distance, there's a creepy man following them.
There's this fear that they're walking around every day and they're seeing this person.
What do you think of when you think of evil? A mad doctor experimenting on his patients? What about a man with a hidden face waiting in the woods to kill your children? Tragically, this is what happened to Abigail Williams and Liberty German in February 2017. They were hiking in Delphi, Indiana, when they suddenly disappeared. But a man Liberty accidentally photographed revealed some terrifying clues. If you're ready for it, let's dive into the case of the girls whose last Snapchat footage showed their murderer. Today's story begins in Delphi, Indiana. This peaceful town has a population of under 3,000 people, and it's known for its beautiful heritage, its forests, and a canal that once bound together the regions of Indiana. This was the hometown of best friends Abigail Williams and Liberty German. They grew up together in an environment that seemed as safe as it gets.
I think in 2017, Delphi was the safest place any of us felt like we could be. We would leave our doors unlocked, we didn't have security systems.
No one in Delphi seemed to even have the concept of being on the lookout for danger. The whole town was just one big community.
You know, this is where you go visit grandma and grandpa, your uncle, small businesses, restaurants, a great community to raise a family.
And it seemed like it, at least for Abby and Liberty. They grew up with their loving families, and soon they became inseparable.
She loved helping other people, being around, assisting her nieces, playing games and drawing and art and being creative.
By the time she was 13 in 2007, Abby played the piano and the saxophone. Libby, on the other hand, was the more fearless, sporty type.
She was very giving, very stick up for the underdog.
We were inseparable, we were always together. We pretty much did everything together.
On February 13th, 2017, Abby was 13 and Liberty was 14. It was a beautiful day. There was no school, and a lot of kids were outside walking, chatting, or playing. Soon enough, Libby chatted to Abby, and they decided to meet up and walk down to the famous park trailers around town.
I was getting ready for work, and Libby busts open the bathroom door, as in just sitting there, getting ready, and she says, "Hey, can we go to Highwoods today?" The moment I dropped them off, Libby got out of the car and turned around and told me she loved me.
Those were Libby's last words to her sister. At around 1:30 p.m. that day, the girls started hiking on the Monon High Bridge over Deer Creek. Half an hour later, Libby posted a photo of Abby walking down the bridge.
It was supposed to be just a normal walk on the trail, and they went to go pick them up. A couple hours later, they never showed up.
Abby and Libby were supposed to meet Libby's dad at 3:15 p.m. He was going to drive them home, but they weren't at the meeting point, and they weren't answering their phones either.
Becky tried to call and wasn't getting any response, so she called me probably about 4 o'clock or so in the afternoon, and she said, "Hey, we're not getting can't get a hold of Libby." I said, "All right, let me pack up here and I'll head that way."
Libby's dad went around the trail and walked down every path, thinking Libby's gonna be grounded for fooling around like this. In fact, both girls' families were convinced that they were just being silly or forgetful, and were planning to tell them off for doing so.
We didn't think the worst. We didn't nowhere near think the worst.
However, Libby's dad was quick to call the police. After all, his daughter was missing, and there was no sign from either of them. But the local police and community searched through the whole trail.